the two wheels.
Whee!
So what did Lord Grayton miss last time?
So, Lord Rayton, what you missed last time while you were off brooding, aka sulking.
AKA being a
Are
bitch.
we recording? Doing the thing?
Yes,
It's
we're
recording.
recording.
How do
We're
you-
live!
How do you
Because you
know?
recorded and then you played your voice back.
The blue light's on.
Screw it.
I
We'll
don't
do it
like
live.
And people, please feel free to jump in because I know I forgot stuff. I'm looking at you, Rain Man.
That's a compliment.
He looked at Shane.
Might be on the back of his hand.
Yeah,
That's
That
a
is,
compliment.
no, that is very complimentary.
There was, like-
last time I was like, all right, well, we left off here, and you're like, didn't this weird thing happen? I'm like, fucking yeah, it did.
That nobody
Like,
else
I forgot where I was going with this session entirely.
Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, I never know until I show up.
That rabbit's dynamite.
All right.
So, everybody went in to the fray of the three fighting groups.
Well, half of us did.
Yeah.
2 of us did not.
And
I
it-
certainly
watched.
did.
And into the fray was more like they literally just like waded into it and like chatted as like spears bounced off of Bastion and
I punched a guy.
almost killed him.
Me too.
Like
We fixed him.
the reason
It
he
was
didn't
okay.
kill him is because people were willing to stunt to save his life.
It's true.
It took like
we all came together.
It was an
3
accident.
assist rolls and then
Yep.
I 13
Half of you
died
came-
total.
You would have made me proud.
13 successes without a single purchased one.
Yep.
That's what the final heal roll was for this dude. Like, pretty crazy shit. Then they promptly decided to fuck off. Like they left that dude who was dying like in the care of his
Superior
Commander.
officer.
One of
superior
his
officers,
homies. Yeah.
and they fucked off because there was a horn being sounded in the distance.
Exactly like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He was
Um,
kind of a moose man.
and yeah, so like the fighting people were following the call. So like when it would sound once, they would stop fighting. When it sounded twice, they would continue. So this whole gang of people decided to go find it because obviously it's controlling the fight. Makes sense. They come upon a forest through some sneaky searching.
Ghosts.
There's
Spirits, not
spirits.
ghosts.
There were forest spirits tending the
Difference.
forest. It was specifically one of the largest emeralds, aka grassy areas, that isn't shit in the north that they had ever seen. They eventually, so they're seeing forest spirits tending the forest and everything. Nothing out of the usual except an oddly high concentration of them. And then they stumbled upon a herd of reindeer / elk / deer, depending on what word I used in any given sentence.
It was mostly elk.
I said elk first.
Mostly elk.
Mostly elk.
So like they found this very large size herd with like big ones, like really big ones scattered throughout, and then
How big were they?
and then Captain, flying over the forest here, noticed that some of the trees in the forest were bare. It's because they were antlers. There was a giant, I think I said like 75-foot tall
Some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
fucking
it was
ridiculous.
huge.
elk. And the horns, of course, on an elk are basically as tall as the elk itself.
Like
so,
his nose was the height of me.
He had people eyes.
yeah.
He did. It was
He had
weird.
people eyes.
He had people eyes, and he was...
not like the eyes of a people, but like there were people for eyes.
It was very uncomfortable for everyone.
Left! This thing left! Ah!
It's like a chameleon.
I can't speak elk.
Fun
Actually,
fact, that was a problem.
that was...
It also
So-
had like gnarled hooves.
Yeah,
for
he
some
was
reason.
like completely pristine except for his front hooves, which were all like completely like gnarled and warped.
Oh, poor elk had arthritis.
But they used to be hands.
And
Arthritis.
he tried to speak to them, but he speaks elk. But he spoke a combination of elk, high realm, and low realm.
Yep.
And
And we kind of made it work.
yeah, I believe. Was
Yeah.
it you?
I translated
Shane
half
had
of
the
it with a
best
good
luck.
Yeah.
Rain Man.
linguistics.
I played with the elk.
Reindeer man.
I kicked one.
Yeah,
And it got kind of
he like tried to ride one, so another one kicked him, and then he came and kicked it back, and it like stared him down.
Quick question. When you say he was speaking those languages, do you mean he only spoke like partially high realm?
So
It was like words in each.
it's
was-
Okay.
like
Okay.
Spanglish with French too, but like halfway through words he would shift.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
He also slowly was becoming more acclimated to human speech again, and
Yeah.
he was becoming more clear as time went on.
He dropped the elk first, and then eventually settled on a combination of like mostly high realm with some low realm mixed in.
Okay.
And we found out, well, Dennis at least found out, and I think you did share it, that he understood claw speak.
I said that I could understand him.
Yep. he made scratchy grunting noises at him, and then the thing like responded in regular high realm.
Okay.
They all cut their hands and or wrists. Everybody except
Joe.
you.
I just purified everything.
Yeah, he purified everything as tribute to him, and everybody else drew blood.
Yeah, because he was like,
Oh, like
tribute,
that.
and we're all like, oh, cock.
He literally,
Here you go.
he literally was just like standing there because like they had a couple questions, and he tried his best, and then he just like stood there for a second. He's like, tribute.
I'm like, he was a cool guy. We couldn't not.
It halfway through the conversation, it became evident that this elf didn't know anything besides where the ship that we were chasing went over our head. And so at that point, we realized he doesn't know anything. Let's move on.
All you know about him and what he knows is that he doesn't know about the humans using his
Yep.
horn as a fighting
Yep.
signal, and that he did see the ship go by, and he pointed you in the right direction.
Yep. That's all that we knew.
That's all that you asked.
We got ambushed by missiles.
Yep. So he was like, "Hey, everybody, hop on my flying nimbus, and we'll like go off in that direction." And
We made a people whip.
yeah,
We did. I hated it.
It was a bad idea.
and
It was a
Great
bad
idea.
idea.
he got shot in the wrist by an arrow, and it turned out to be an abyssal.
Who sniped me from the snipe tree that I was in?
Sniper.
We're in the same snipe tree.
So the abyssal shot him, and then nobody saw where the abyssal came from. They couldn't figure out where the arrow came from. She scouted around as a archery, like she used, I think, perception archery,
I did.
Yeah.
to figure out like the best sniper spots in the area. And everybody like kind of split up to figure out what was going on. He turned into a toucan to fly up to distract the
The archer.
archer.
Which one?
Archer did take a shot at him, literally this close to where she was standing. Like he did the PETA thing from.
Okay,
Yeah, he just kicked
Peter.
himself.
yeah, he was.
And I was like, oh!
He was a day cast, aka a night cast.
I really
so
wanna-
stealth was a thing.
I hope that there's people on podcasts that are confused. Like, what do animal activists have to do with this?
I'm
Peter.
confused.
No, not you, PETA. PETA, I'm right here.
Somebody best
He
explain
doesn't
something
know
going
who
right
it is.
now, or I swear.
And then, so he fell out of the tree. She chased him down and scorched his shoulder a little bit, and then he landed in a crumpled pile of snapped bones on the ground, apparently dead. They walk over,
Apparently, there's a keyword there.
throw a bunch of like kindling on him,
we
and
checked
burn
the
him
shit out of him.
He tried poking him to have him burned to death.
The
and
book
it
did not
didn't
work.
So they actually burnt him to death.
Except.
Quote unquote to death.
Then after a little while of that,
Laugh yourself to
the
death.
man with the cane comes around, and first he tries a pretty beefy social attack against him, and actually failed, which was surprising
Yep.
because he has a negative intimacy towards murderers.
The first time I actually just channeled virtue straight into it. The second time I was like, oh no, there's this, and I'm channeling a virtue into it.
So he went limit break, went total rage mode and tried to kill the guy. In his like big doomsday combo, the dude who they thought was gone took the blow.
Kill Mario
For him?
122.
So literally, like the old man just
Calamari?
like stood there the whole time, and somebody
Calamari.
and the dude,
Calamari. Squid juice.
there's charms in the abyssal set that allow them to sink into the ground when they're sleeping with certain things that allow them to wake up as a triggering action. For him, it was,
If someone attacks my friend.
yeah. So he ended up like coming out doing essentially a blocking action or
Defend other.
defend other action. Took the entire blow, got liquefied against the tree.
Is actually dead now.
Is actually really dead now.
Say,
Like
stuck with me.
all the way. Like his shard plunged down into the underworld to be reincarnated as something else awful. And then
Or
the
purge,
old man.
depending.
So he was like back there, like dealing with the Sir Splat-a-lot. Did a social attack to basically tell everybody to back off.
And everyone did.
And everyone did.
I am convinced he's a Death Lord.
Or they had to pay 5 willpower.
I am absolutely convinced that he can kill us all.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
And then walked around a tree and was gone.
Nice.
We have our first argument.
Yep.
Yep. Because he was still basically in the throes of his
Passion.
limit break.
No, that was pretty
Well, that's
consistent
just
with
how I
his...
act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was just consistent to his
And I was like, you're a
personality.
fucking idiot. He's
was
gonna
riding,
murder you.
He was riding the wave with his passion about killing this guy, and she especially stood up and was like, "No, dude, chill the fuck out. He could murder us all." And he's like, "Well, why didn't he? Because he can still use us."
You know what would have made him calm down? If you just
Punching him?
yelled, "You're acting like Rayton right now."
Oh my god, I should have.
That would be good.
I really should have.
File
that
that
would have
away.
been good.
But I would be like, no, I'm not throwing a temper tantrum.
They'd
But
be like,
we-
really?
And then,
Yeah, what
and
is
then
this?
everybody would have stared at you pointedly for a moment, and
And I would have been like, did I throw a tree at somebody for no reason?
no, you threw a fist at somebody for no reason.
I had very good reasons.
Look, he shot you in the hand once.
Like,
See,
what?
even
this
him.
wasn't actually aimed at that guy.
Yeah, and neither was the ore at her.
It's true.
Different.
Sorry, I play social characters, so that's the thing.
I intentionally
or
tried
what?
to hurt someone.
And then,
And then they
Dennis marked a tree.
Dennis marked a tree
Dennis
with
marked a
blood
tree
and stuff.
saying,
lift his
Pee on
leg
it or
up.
you scratch it?
basically
Okay.
making
Why
a
not
sign
both?
saying that like this is under my protection.
This place is
So
clean.
that way, if any
Ah.
other lunars happen to pass by this area, they can see that he has offered it his protection. So, which is a thing because of one of his backgrounds is like calling in favors back and forth. So that's the kind of thing that can be used to leverage that because people know he's in the area now. Then everybody fucked off to the
His
manse. It is it's Kami's lookout.
So,
You
Yeah,
have
but I
to find
assume
it.
so when he was.
so actually, there's something I
describing
want to
it.
point out though. We pieced together that the guy was making Shadowlands all
Oh,
across
yes.
north,
Yes.
Yes.
and we did
Wanted
not
to go
turn back
home.
to stop the fighting behind us. We decided to go to Kami's lookout instead.
Yeah, we were like, fuck up. I'm
No,
over it.
It's their training ritual. Why would we
Yeah,
stop?
yeah. I just towards the end of the night, I was like, yeah, we're just not going
No
back, are
question
we?
as to who decided, who told them that was the new training ritual.
It
But-
seems like
I
something
think out of game we thought about that, but in game nobody thought about it.
seemed like something that had been hammered out a long time ago. I don't know.
People just showing up and killing each other for a bit.
So was I like following them around?
No, you
or-
literally just fucked
You
off.
were with your men
Hey, you did it.
elsewhere.
Okay.
You
Like lowercase
like,
e elsewhere.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
were literally off like brooding and just like probably in all fairness like making your men do drills that you do when you're in a pissy mood, like one of those things where
Oh,
Burpees.
yeah, basically
Man,
Man
man is
makers.
pissed. We're doing burpees.
burpees, suicide sprints, like
Mile
Man
long
makers.
suicide
Yeah.
sprints.
As soon as I make sure that this is not a hernia, I'll be getting back to it.
And then,
And
where
then-
was Dennis? Because you went into your mansion, the three of us camped out. Where did you go?
He kept out
You
too.
camped out?
You camped out too?
I thought you guys went up. And
No,
then
I was
No,
mad at him, and I was
you
like, I
have to
can't fucking
climb
deal
up
with
to-
this.
Yeah, I
yeah,
thought you guys were
that's
coming
actually
up.
the entrance requirement to
Yeah.
get in
No, I
is
was
you
gonna wait
have to
until
climb
you
it.
guys-
Yeah,
and
because
for-
you were doing it
Yeah,
straight
there was
from,
no
from
rules
Dragon
yet
Ball.
to try to climb up.
And that's that's
And I was like,
Well,
I was
you have to climb
frustrated
the
with
first
him,
time.
so I was
Yeah.
like, I need
And
some
then you
time
can
away
just
from
climb
this.
Oh.
right.
So I
Okay.
stayed
What's
with
the-
him, and you?
Okay, weird.
Check for that.
Because I totally thought like
Strength athletics.
I
Yeah,
stayed
strength
with them.
athletics,
Nobody
unless
else
you
did.
have-
I meant roll, not
Oh.
check.
No, it's something you would be all set for.
Yeah.
Something that he wouldn't.
Yeah, I went up to
Strength
the.
athletics pool of 1 over here.
I went over
Oh,
to
you
the
got
tower. I
that.
was like,
You got that.
nope, I'm camping, guys. Can you mind setting up a camp for me, please?
And then yeah, because I had the thought, and then out loud you were like, "Well, you can't be here by yourself," and I was like, "Yes, exactly, that's correct."
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's stay
apparently
here.
my memory shut down at that point and then gone.
You were pretty crabby because it was midnight, so it's okay.
So
Right.
So it's currently everybody
and
but me camped out.
Yep, you
Correct.
were in the
You were
mess.
Because
pissy and
I'm,
flew off.
I'm at the manse.
Yeah.
and the
Yeah,
rule,
I was gonna hang out, but I was
the
angry.
specific ruling of the tower is that your own abilities have to get you from bottom to top
Yep.
the first.
the
Yeah,
first time.
You can't latch onto somebody like a spider monkey and have them climb you up.
But you could turn into a spider monkey and climb up.
Yes.
As
Yeah.
long as you're actually climbing.
Actually, you offered to do that, and I rejected
I was
it.
thinking just a spider.
Did I?
Yeah, it was somebody. Somebody offered for
Masters
me to
Wrath
climb on
stuff
their back,
going
and I
on
rejected it.
That's what I was thinking.
So is that everything?
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty
it?
where we
That's
left off.
That's
exactly
where we
where we
left
left
off.
off.
Okay.
Unless anybody
Rory.
else has anything I forgot.
I think that was covered everything.
Everything
We are
important at the
camped.
very least.
Oh, and real quick before we
Camp.
start, who else doesn't have a weapon that does something fun?
I don't know.
Oh,
yet.
we haven't.
I don't have a
forgot
weapon
about
here.
that.
Technically, mine.
Actually, no.
does.
Actually,
have
no,
a
we
save.
figured it out.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
I haven't figured out my
I'll write it down.
Gormal's thing yet.
Technically, I completely forgot that fucking Moon Silver weapons have alternate forms as well.
That's pretty cool.
'Cause I'm just wearing them as a chain and a sword.
Sword chain. Chain sword.
So, do you have anything?
He has no
Nothing cool.
artifact weapons.
Did
I
you just do anything fun
You're gonna
yet?
have to help
No.
me because I only
Okay.
remember what it's gonna be.
His is Meet the
I can't really
Family.
remember what the mate is gonna
no,
be.
that's my combo.
I still love the name of that combo.
Kind of adapted as some Avenged Seventh a little bit.
So you have a whip and
I have a dire chain and a and a short die clip.
By the way, I'm updating my character a little bit. I'm giving myself a cloak via Harlock.
Space Pirate.
Yeah.
Where's that name?
That was a
Sound familiar?
great movie. I loved
Do
it.
you have an artifact weapon?
Yeah.
It does something fun already. Though.
It's the one
Have
where
you
when
seen
I
that
go
movie?
into single
Yeah.
combat with someone
Which
and
movie is
activate a
this?
mode
Harlock?
and
and
Or Harlock?
Valor
I always
Penalty.
remember it.
for
It's
anyone
on
else that
Netflix.
wants to end
It's
up
worth
on
watching.
It wasn't old anime.
You're all set.
Okay.
And then they made a
So
they made a movie of it.
I have
Okay,
a
maybe
plasma
that's why the name
torpedo
sounds
right now. I'm going to find the mate later.
Yep.
What is just
I
the
mean,
one that I
maybe.
have right now to do? Because I only remember the later
The
one.
one that you have now allows you to, instead of using
Raspberry
Ghost
bullshit
Eating
then?
Technique, to absolutely destroy
Not right now.
a spirit,
Yes.
to render it completely incapacitated, so that when you shoot it with your other one, you can make it a bullet.
Yep. Or so I
Wait.
can use my other charm on it.
Nailed it.
So
And also, so ghost eating technique, right? That's
Yes.
the one that does gods and ghosts and
All spirits.
and
All
everything
spirits,
in
yeah.
between. What does it actually do?
okay.
Allow me. So, Ghost Eating Technique is the extra action charm that is not an extra action charm.
Okay.
It's a supplemental charm, technically. What happens is, you use it, let's say, what's your stamina, Shane?
3.
Okay, so let's say somebody uses Ghost Eating Technique and they roll 16 dice and they beat his DV of like 4, right?
I think it's 2.
Okay, they beat his DV
God
of
man.
2 with
No, it's 3.
3 with 13 successes.
Okay.
So they go, okay, cool. Well, my plasma tongue repeater does 10 damage. That's 23. Your stamina is 3, and your aggravated soak is 0. So I roll 23 dice of aggravated damage. Okay, cool. Well, I did my essence times 2 in damage to you, and for the sake of occult, that would be 10. So now I get to roll 10 more attacks against you.
Attacks.
Attacks.
Okay.
Individual attacks. And every single one of them is a spirit cutting attack.
My God.
Which
That
is
charm.
stuff that actually has the potential to murder
To hurt,
a ghost.
yeah.
So boom, 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 boom.
Gotcha.
Are you dead yet?
I thought that
No, I'm
technique
Saul.
was actually the entry level one, not like upgrade.
It is.
Holy.
Ghost Eating Technique is the first. Well, I
So
mean,
it goes
the-
spirit detecting, lance, spirit cutting attack, ghost eating technique.
Right.
There are charms beyond ghost eating technique.
There's like
Charms beyond.
subservience ones and
I
all
have
that.
one.
So
I have the 5/5. It's as high as I can go.
if you use
Is that
the
that cinnamony one? Oh, thank you.
if you use the final charm in tiger style and use your ghost eating technique
Is
via
there
martial
cinnamon
arts,
associated with it?
Which one's the final in Tiger Style?
it's the one that gives you 2 attacks around.
Yeah.
And I got
That's
that
right.
attack.
Smells like something.
That's right.
But-
Yep. But you can't add any other.
You can't add any other extra action charms.
Right.
So,
But you can use ghost eating
Habanero.
technique.
Because
Right.
it's not an extra action charm.
It's just. It's like a multiplying damage charm, not an extra attack or an
Multiplying
extra action.
attack charms, yes.
Yeah, because you do roll additional attacks.
Yep.
Right.
But yeah,
All right.
I just assume.
Okay.
Okay.
Brought to
Cool
you
stuff.
by Joe's
Apple.
Corner.
But
Yep.
instead of murdering it, I can
Apple
incapacitate it
pomegranate,
and then either
pomegranate
make
cinnamon.
it my slave for a year, or I can make it a bullet.
once
Once I
find
get
it.
that gun.
It's pretty cool.
Bullet.
I
Boule.
You.
forgot what the charm is called that I want. The one my other character had that I didn't
The one
use
that you referred
until
to
halfway
as
through because I
warm.
forgot how
What is it?
cool it was.
Sun Sage's study,
No,
flipping turtles.
no, the one where you get to.
Extra action charm?
No,
You don't get that.
Yeah,
I know I
Time
don't get
travel
it.
attack.
I
Oh,
really-
principles of motion.
Principles of motion. I really fucking
we have
want
terms
it.
Which was actually
Like
slightly
Why would I
different
have
than
it
how
now?
you were
Oh,
using
yeah.
Why
it.
wouldn't
Essence
you?
3.
Ow.
It's based on dots of valor, not dots of willpower.
That's true.
He was the one that wrote it out for me.
I checked today because they don't. Literally everything in the spirits
Like the
charms
whole
is all
week?
just as
Yeah,
pick
it
one of the
goes
4
gray out,
virtues, and that's
blackout,
the thing
gray
that
out,
does
or
all the
still at
things.
A gray out at that point.
But
The older
Actually,
version of the charm
that was
didn't
how
go
wedding
off
on the side.
virtues, and I just found that site today.
it's actually really good, and
It's like
I like
almost
it
anything,
because a
like
lot of
365
times
days in
the
a year,
role,
there's only
even
a
though
certain
it's
amount of things
just
that I have that are planned out that far in
attribute
advance, and then
virtue,
if
it's
we
not usually
fail,
trying to
something
beat
always
anything.
happens like that.
It's
Like,
just trying to get
what's the
successes.
accurate date in the future?
So like even if you're only
actually,
rolling like
I'm busy.
upwards of
You're busy.
like
6
10,
dice.
like 10 would be like the maximum die pool typically.
Yep.
You're still able to do the things even though you're facing somebody that has like a dodge DV of 8 or 9.
Did you ever go to the point
Probably
where
not.
you had a force ring?
No.